Welcome to the Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight, influential leaders and their game-changing insights. I'm Jacqueline Strominger, CEO and founder of Leap to Your Success. That's leaptoyoursuccess.com. We help entrepreneurs, leaders, and CEOs grow their business, become unstoppable high achievers in their careers and life, gaining that 1% edge. We believe every professional has the power within them to leap to their greatest success that not only will impact their life, but the lives of the people they touch. So stick around to the end of the show and we will share with you how you can be our next guest. So stick around for those 15 to 20 minutes and let's be unstoppable. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight podcast, where we hear from game-changing leaders and their amazing insights on how to be a great leader and what you can do to maybe influence your people, your team to excel. And I have a great guest today. His name is Max Emma, and he is actually from the Soviet Union. You actually came from here around what, age 18, if that's correct? And supported yourself through college, you've been in the corporate world, and now you've opened up your own franchise brokerage where you help individuals pursue the American dream by owning a franchise. And you help them choose between over 600 franchises, which is really, really great. And it says that your services are completely free to any candidate. So you love what you do, you love working, you've got a few other businesses that are wrapped in here. So Max, welcome to the Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight podcast.
Thank you, Jacqueline. It's great to be here.
So tell me, Max, so you obviously had to do quite a bit to lead yourself to where you are. So what do you think took you to do that?
Well, it's a great question. I think it's the fact that I did not have a choice. You know, when I came to this country at the age of 18, which was over 32 years ago, so um, I had to start a brand new life and, leaving my childhood, my friends behind. Luckily, I came with my parents, and my brother already was living in the United States. So it wasn't just me by myself. I did have a family support, but I didn't have any friends. So I had to start from scratch. So moving forward and not stopping wasn't, an option. That was the only choice that we made when we moved to this country.
Oh, so I'm curious, when you first got here, did you jump right into college or did you have to wait a bit before you got into college and start?
So I was taking English classes, which it wasn't helping me, and we
Sorry.
came, we came, yeah, we came in January, and I went to community college in September, but I developed my own system to learn English because again, the ESL classes did not help me to excel. So I was like, okay, how do I think outside of the box? And I've always been, since I was a little kid, like, how do I beat the system? I mean, so my beating the system of learning English was actually calling um, different credit card companies. And at that time, all the support centers were in the United States. And so for 40, 45 minutes, I was talking to a native speaker about why I cannot have a credit card in the United States. Duh, I mean, I didn't have a credit history. I knew that. But for 45 minutes, we were going back and forth. And finally, we were done. I was calling a different credit card company. I was doing that 2, 3 hours a day, every day. And
Oh,
so at no time, well, actually, it was time, I started speaking and understanding, and that helped me a lot. So I went to college. I found a good job. I worked for Costco for 5 years while I was going through college, and they even gave me a scholarship to go to school. So it was a great experience. I mean, I've worked with a lot of people, and that was great. But it's all started with learning English.
that's learning English, really key right there. Really, really key. So tell me, I'm so important to me. So tell me, you know, right now you have you have a business, bookkeeping, you were in corporate. And I want to go back to the corporate world for a minute because um, you spent 4 years in corporate finance and you said it wasn't really for you. And you gave your 2 weeks notice and you had a family landscape business. But I want to go to that corporate job. What did you not like about that job? Why wasn't it for you?
Well, so I'm always joking that I wasn't very good in kissing butts. I was always kissing the wrong ones because it didn't help me to move on the corporate ladder. But being serious, it just they couldn't keep me busy enough. So I worked for a great company and I learned a lot. And part of my functions, what I was doing, they had to have it in order to do like corporate reporting 1 to maybe 2 weeks a month. And they just did not have anything for me for the other 2 weeks, which, they didn't mind me doing nothing, but it wasn't just for me. I'm like, okay, keep me busy. And at some point, I was asking for projects, and they didn't have them after I was done with whatever needed to be done. Again, I had to be there for 2 weeks, but the finance and accounting department for the company was probably 300 people because this was a huge, huge company. And I was just bored. And that was the biggest challenge for me. I'm like, I'm young, I want to do something, and I have to come to work. I can't just not go to work for a week, but there was nothing there for me to do.
So, okay, so leaders, I want you to just listen to this for a minute. What he's just saying. If you've got an employee and they're asking for work, you need to lead them. I mean, obviously, things could have been a little different if you had had a leader there who recognized this in you and said, "Oh, we've got a good one with Max. Let's work with him to elevate him so that there's more work," right?
Yes, but look, it was a big company, and again, nothing wrong with the company, but they had an org chart, and my responsibility was to do that. So they would have to think outside of the box. How would we keep him busy for 2 weeks? They would not be able to give me to marketing department for 2 weeks because again, it's
Right.
10,000 employees. So it's like, well, you have to be there because we need your function for the month's end close or for the quarter end close because we have to have the books. It's a publicly traded company, so we have our process that we have to follow. So now, because my companies are way smaller than that, I tell all my direct reports when we hire a new person, I'm like, make sure this person is staying busy. Make sure that this person has opportunity to grow, learn new things. I don't have a problem if they do accounting and then for 10 hours a week they do social media. I'm fine with that. I want people to be multi-talented and multitasking. But again, it's easy for me to do. I'm the CEO and they're my businesses. And again, we're not a publicly traded company, but for big companies, that would not happen.
Right. So that's really interesting. So it could happen, it's just not how they operate. So talk about your companies now. So you obviously experienced this where you had that. And so talk to me about the companies that you have and how many employees do you have and what's it like being the CEO?
It's fun. I'm not gonna change it for the world. So I've been on my own for almost 23 years now. Last day at corporate was July 3rd, 2002. So July 4th was my real freedom day. That's the day that I became free, seriously. And
Right.
I celebrated, when there is a fireworks on July 4th, it has double meaning for me. Okay,
Right.
that's my freedom day. It's not only the U.S. freedom; it's my freedom day. Um, but it's fun, it's challenging, it is lonely at the top, but again, I will not change it for anything else. And the way I operate now, I've had many businesses before I got to where I am right now, and I'm grateful for all of them. Some of them failed, and I had to go through bankruptcy, both personal and business, only to get back on my feet, start again from scratch. And was we were more successful second time around, and we were able to sell the business. But then we ended up doing bookkeeping, and it came as a necessity because we were just missing the financial data. So we started the bookkeeping company called Bookskeeping, and then at some point, by accident, we started working for franchise brands, and we
Huh.
started working for one, then more and more and more. I'm like, I started being around franchisors, and I absolutely loved it. I love to be around these people. I loved how friendly they are, how they are willing to help and spend time with you. I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be like them. And so that gave me an idea to franchise bookkeeping as the concept. So now we're selling our own bookkeeping franchises
Huh.
in the United States. We actually the only true bookkeeping franchise available in on the market in America. There are obviously H&R Blocks and Liberty Taxes of the world that provide both taxes and bookkeeping. We just do the bookkeeping. That's why we get a lot of referrals from CPAs. So that was the second business, still is, and I don't know which one is the more important because that's all running together. But then after I've done that for a few years, and I have teams in every business. There is no way I would be able to do it by myself. So I have teams, I have reports. Who do most of the work. My job is to do strategical thinking and have a vision for the company. I figured that if somebody not a good match for bookkeeping franchise, we would lose them and we would not be able to provide the value. So I opened a franchise brokerage. And now, if somebody not a good match for bookkeeping, because let's be honest, accounting is not for everybody, then we can help to choose from over 600 different brands. And as you said, Jacqueline, our services are free, 100% free to candidate. We do get paid, but only in case they end up buying a franchise. We get commissions from the franchisor. Okay, so if
Oh,
they
so
end,
okay,
so
so
I
the
do I do
yeah,
get
so
commission. So I'm not working for
right.
free, but
Mhm.
our
You're like an
services are
airline
free to
ticket.
candidate. Yeah,
You're you're like a travel agent. The travel booking is actually free for the consumer. The travel agent gets a commission from the travel agent. I mean, from the
yes.
airlines or the
Ab Absolutely. But my job is to actually, in a lot of times, find the industry for them. Like, for example, I'm working with somebody right now who has a successful career, and so does his wife, but they're looking for a business to have, extra money. So they don't want to spend a lot of time on the business. They not sure what business that should be. So by talking to them, by doing the research, we actually found a tanning salon, which is great because they will need to spend time in the business, but maybe few days a week for a few hours, so they don't have to be there all the time. It's not like a restaurant where you have to leave there 24/7. So
right.
they don't have this time and they don't want to do it, but it's potentially great returns and not a huge investment because the square footage print is very very small. So that's what we do. It's not just, if somebody comes in and say, I want to buy McDonald's, they don't need a broker. They just call McDonald's and buy one, even though
Right.
there are no territories available in the US because the whole country is sold. But if they're like, I want a restaurant, we can help them to choose, okay, do you want a pizza place? Do you want, healthy dining, burger joint? I mean, what is it? Coffee? Do you want a mobile food truck business? So that's the job of a broker. But again, if and when they buy, we get commission, but I'm actually going one way further. I share part of my commissions with the candidate. We pay 9 months of their sales training, so they get a live sales trainer for 9 months because I want them to be successful. I want them to build a business and then come back and say, I want to buy another business. So out of my commission, we're paying for that. And also we give them a rebate from the commission that I get. So because this is not a main business for me, I mean, I'm not depending 100% on this profit, so I'm willing to share it with other
That's
people.
super great. That's really great. It's actually a really great model because you're actually giving, you're following that whole servant leadership role because you're helping, you're giving to, it's like I just actually interviewed Bob Berg, who's wrote the Go Giver series, and it's that whole mentality of being
Mhm.
able to give. So I really love that. So while you're doing this and you're looking at the franchises, are you evaluating the leadership of the franchises? And would you say, could somebody say to you, hey, Max, I'm looking at blank, blank, blank franchise. Have you ever done anything? And would you then say, run, like their leadership stinks, or you know what I mean?
Well, I do look at the leadership, and because we are preferred, sorry, bookkeeping provider for 100 plus brands, and I work a lot with franchises being a franchisor. I know a lot of the leaders myself. And just yesterday, I came back from a large conference in Phoenix, Arizona. And so a lot of CEOs were there. So when we do the evaluation, and let's say somebody wants to buy, a, plumbing franchise, I just tell them, hey, you have five choices that are available in your hometown, but I do know two CEOs personally. Okay, and I know that one of them is going to be available to you if you need his help. And obviously, if somebody has 2,000 units, there is no way the CEO would be available. They have like the tiers. That's why I tell people you have an advantage buying bookkeeping franchise at this point while we have 15 franchisees, because you have my number on your speed dial. When
Right.
we get to a certain level, not because I don't like you, I'm still going to talk to you, but I will not be able to talk to you, same day when I have 100 franchisees. So take advantage of talking to see people while the franchise is small. Okay, but some people like, okay, I don't care, I'll talk to corporate trainer, but I want a franchise that has 500 units. Okay, so here is an option for you. So we ask all of that. I never bad mouthing anything, and so I'm not gonna go and say this is a bad leader, this is the good leader, because every coin has two sides. Okay,
Yeah.
only because somebody said this is a bad leader, it doesn't mean that this is a bad person. Okay, for example, you know, uh, my team still may. Part. I have some people who've been with me for over 10 years, and when me and my co-founder, who was my wife at the time, we were speaking Russian in my office because the way we speak, they thought we're killing each other, but we were just passionate about the business. So they're still laughing right now. They're like, oh, Max and Elena talking, something is going on, and we were just passionate about the way how we're gonna um, structure the business, how we're gonna grow, what other avenues we're gonna explore. So that's why if you just listen to them, oh, they are mean to each other, but that's not true. So you always have to hear two sides of the story. That's why I would be very careful about passing the judgment.
That's good. So, you know, it's great that you're providing this service for people. So, what is the biggest thing that's next for you in your business, and where do you where you want to grow?
I want to grow by delegating majority of my functions, and I'm getting better and better. I was brought up as the micromanager. I had to be involved in every step of the way. My team hated me. I hated myself. It limited my growth. When I learned to give up a lot of functions and let other people doing it, that's when I was able to open a second business and a third business. And, I might open more businesses because, again, I'm not involved 24/7. And look, for me, work-life balance has different meanings. Life-work balance. Life come first. I want to travel. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to go see a lot of Broadway shows. I want to go and have a great cigar with scotch. So I want time to myself. I want to go to gym. So I have this thing at certain time, like everything is scheduled in my calendar. If it says I'm going to a gym, I'm shutting down the computer, and no matter how much work I have done, I'm done for the day. Because I've been there, done that. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm still at the computer, and I did not have lunch or dinner because there is so much stuff going on. I only can do it for so long, and after that, you get tired. So I'm like, okay, it's 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whatever I decided that day I'm gonna be working. Okay, done. I'm done, and I'm not opening the computer when I come back. So I'm very, as I said, I'm very good at it, but I'm learning how to become better and better. And that's what I think makes person successful, when you actually can um, limit yourself on the number of hours you work in. Because being a workaholic is wonderful when you are 23, 25, but at some point it just gets you.
Yeah. So listeners, I really want you to take that. And this is actually a really important insight as a leader. As a leader, being able to put things on your calendar and make time for yourself and be able to teach your team that too, because being part of a workaholic society or being part of a workaholic culture never actually ends up serving anybody well. And that you first and foremost have to take care of yourself. And as Max said, he puts everything on his calendar. And I would tell you, put everything on your calendar. The things that matter the most show up on your calendar. So do that. That is a great insight. So, Max, I could talk to you all day. I'm curious, what is the best way for people to connect with you?
So the best way is to actually connect with me through franchisewithmax.com. You can go on this website and decide if you want to talk to me about buying a bookkeeping franchise, if you need bookkeeping for your business, or if you need help to have a business on the site, which is a franchise. At some point you'll end up talking to me no matter which one you choose, but I have different teams of people that would take you through all the questions, understand what you're looking for so we can serve you better. So franchisewithmax.com is absolutely the best way to get a hold of me, or LinkedIn is fine as well. It's Max Emma on LinkedIn.
Okay. Well, absolutely perfect. So listeners, reach out to Max. Go to his website, Franchise with Max. Also connect with him on LinkedIn. It's truly remarkable what he's doing, and what a great service you are offering. So I really appreciate that. So this is the Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Strominger. If you've gotten great tips from this, which I'm sure you have, click subscribe. And remember, like I said, please reach out to Max and be unstoppable. I'm Jacqueline Strominger, and I want to thank you so much for listening to the Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight, Influential Leaders and Their Game-Changing Insights podcast. If you are a successful CEO, entrepreneur, or leader in your industry, and you have insights you would like to share, we want you to be a guest on this program. So please visit go.leaptoyoursuccess.com/podcast. And if you have gotten something out of this interview and you'd like to share the episode on social media, just go ahead and take a screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on socials. If you know somebody who would be a great guest, please tag them on social media and let them know about the show and include the hashtag Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight. I love seeing your posts and your guest suggestions. So we regularly are putting out new episodes and content. So please make sure you don't miss any episodes and go ahead and hit subscribe. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they mean so much to me and my team. You want to know more about the podcast or about Leap to Your Success? Just go to the website leaptoyoursuccess.com or follow me, Jacqueline Strominger, on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Just plug in my name, Jacqueline, that's JACLYN .Strominger, STROMINGER, and follow me on all the socials. So thank you so much for listening, and remember, be unstoppable.